Hey guys, Gameboy30 here once again back in Forza Horizon 4 doing some more B-Class muscle car races. Here we have the pig itself, Noxtrol's Olds 442. This car has got a high output 455 motor, so it should be fairly decent in terms of power. It's a very similar motor to the Buick that we saw run in the first episode. As we saw in the first episode, mostly power build Buick did not do too well. We have two different kinds of superchargers here. I like how all these actually make the 0 to 60 slower because of wheel spin. Let's go for some all-wheel drive first of all. And then supercharge. I'll try with the regular roots blower. But if we can't get the PI to work, then we will put on the Pro Charger. Some thick boy tires at the back. And alright, this car does get the vintage race tires that we saw the Mercury Cougar do really well with. Front tire width, as long as it's above like 215s, I think we're good to keep front tires as stock. Sometimes we need the extra point, so we may take that front placement off. Brakes we saw are not really too important on the track we drive on Mortimer Gardens, so we're actually going to keep stock brakes and upgrade the handling parts elsewhere. We'll put on suspension, put on the anti-roll bars. Now this is a heavy car, 4,200 pounds. And I can't get full weight reduction. I can't even get 2 stages, so I need to decide now what's the best course of action here. Can I put on a rear wing to save a point? Yes, I can. Look at that. Not that it does too much. Engine options. Yeah. I'm going to go for the Pro Charger because it saves 10 PI points. We should be able to upgrade it better as well. Maybe not. Oh well. Can make it an 8-liter motor. 500 or 496 or maybe 490 cubic inches. I don't know my maths at heart for that, but you know what I mean. Can decrease our PI by 1 by doing that. It won't get us any extra engine upgrades though. Get all this on since we can afford it. And there we go, 500 horsepower, but 4,200 pounds. Definitely a heavy boy. And it's a pretty tall car as well. Rides pretty high. Wonder how that'll do for the bumps and stuff. Top speed fairly high. Its engine actually does rev pretty good according to the game here. Uh, 435 gears should be good for this car. Got a lot of power, so it should be able to handle it. Ride height, lower it just a bit to be even. And I'm maxing out the aero because it will make a difference to the top speed. And it might actually help for braking and slight cornering and stuff, you know. So that's why I max it out, if we do have rear aero. Alright, so I looked at stock placement. And that is our build for the Olds 442. Let's see how it drives. This car doesn't actually have the... never mind, this car doesn't actually have any tachometer. That's hilarious. Oh, no, it does. Just blocked by the wheel. I'm dumb. I was surprised because I thought it was Olds and Buicks that had the, you know, tachometer on the hood. You see it on the Buick GSX, AMC Rebel, and I think the Pontiac Firebird, the 68 one. I think they have the hood-mounted tach. I'm just surprised to see that this car doesn't have it. Oh well. Yeah, this car's... Oh, overshot that by quite a bit. This car's engine revs pretty high. You know, for a big 8-liter V8. How high does it rev? Not much over 6. Okay. I don't know why the Quartz Regalia is so good. Evidently it is. Apparently I'm also top 1,000 very easily. Filter near me. Oh well. Yeah, Mercury Cougar. Even though the Mercury was a heavy car, I think the Olds is far heavier. And this is a different intake. We're going for Procharger versus Supercharger. They're both Superchargers, but one is active early on in the rev range, while one is more active higher up in the rev range. And we're kind of high up in the rev range all this lap, except for the start. But I wonder what's going to be better overall. If we have the option, what should we go for, you know? Another lovely mint green Cougar Eliminator up ahead. That's like the one time we use brakes. I could tell they were not as powerful as the Mercury, but they still stopped me in time. Didn't want to go shooting off into the field there, so I did grab the brakes one more time. First lap, we will never be faster than the opening car, simply because it's not a flying lap. Fifth gear again seems very good for these kinds of cars. Oh, I am not going to make that. I will slam into that harder than I get slammed at work. So I will have to take the long way around here. So it's a dirty lap. We'll just have to see what the time is. I'm not sure we'll be much faster anyways. The car's heft can work in its favor because it can smash through street furniture and get through the water pretty easy. I think the Mercury had a little bit more power, or at least more power for its weight. So, no, we're not even going to be faster on this lap anyways. Probably no surprise since we didn't get the optimal line at the beginning after the bridge. There we go, I made it that time. It's a lot of sliding, but as long as I can control that sliding, it might actually help us. This car is a very even power and torque curve. It's only a little bit more torque than horsepower. It's not insane like the Buick. I had like 200 more torque than horsepower. I'm not sure if that's going to help us here. So far, it seems to be working pretty good for the Olds here. I guess it does keep us nice and high in the rev range, or at least good power in the high rev range. Look at that. A 55.4 by half a second on the dot. Got a couple more laps to go. I'm not going to be faster this lap because of the distraction that is the congratulations. So I'll just try to keep up so that I can make the last lap something to behold. Maybe. Probably not. I'll try. You can be flat through there, but you get thrown wide, so I don't know if it's really going to be faster. There's a good turn there. Didn't get as good as a run as the Mercury, though. Now it's since we're basically even up here, it's time to see which one will be better through here. Because one's going to be more powerful, but one's going to be lighter. It looks like they're pretty even, actually, up the hill. But I guess power-to-weight ratio is similar for these two vehicles, despite how much heavier the other one is. A little bit surprising, but not unexpected, I should say. Oh, I am too wide for this corner. Yep, there it goes. I like how I immediately knew I went too wide. Yeah, I think the Mercury's got this lap in the bag, unless I can just dive bomb it here. Nah, it's gone. Oh well, we had a good run. A 55.4. Pretty good time. Beat the Mercury by half a second. So, Olds, we'll compare it with the Mercury at the end here. Just to see, like, what its power is. Because I am curious. Like, Olds power versus Mercury power. And I did just realize this is kind of like a Ford versus Chevy because Olds is GM and Mercury is Ford, right? So, yeah. Oh well. I just want to double check like the power to weight ratio. And if that does play a factor in this series, or if it's more just can you control the car as good as you can. So 500 horsepower, 4,200 pounds versus 400 horsepower, 3,800 pounds. Or more like 3,900 pounds. I guess that's fairly decent. Similar torque, or more similar torque than horsepower. But still. So it is more in line with just driving good. That'll do it for this episode. If you guys are up for the Hemi Cuda coming up next time, can leave a like, favorite, comment, share, and of course, don't forget to subscribe as well. Thanks again, well, I'll see you all in the future.